Stop lying to yourself. The world does not respect fairness, it respects dominance. Every empire, every king that ruled history, none of them played fair. They played to win, and those who clung to fairness, they were crushed, forgotten, erased. Fairness is a prison built for the weak, a trick to keep you small while others take what you hesitate to claim. The man who waits for justice dies waiting. The man who demands balance gets slaughtered by the one who ignores it. Machiavelli's law is brutal, but true power belongs only to the ruthless. So stop waiting. Stop hoping. Stop playing by rules that were written to keep you on your knees. If you want to rise, if you want to rule, if you want to stand untouchable, you must become colder, sharper, and more merciless than the men around you. Comment below, right now, I was not made to play fair. Fairness is the most dangerous lie you've ever been taught. It is the invisible leash wrapped around your neck since childhood. They told you, be fair, play by the rules, and you'll be rewarded. But where are the rewards? Where is the justice? Where is the balance? Look at history. Look at your life. The ruthless take what they want, and the world adjusts. The so-called fair men wait their turn, and their turn never comes. They die waiting, replaced, forgotten. Fairness is not a code of honor. It is a weapon, a trap. A strategy of control designed to keep you tame while wolves circle you. The strong whisper about fairness to the weak, but they never follow it themselves. They tell you to share while they stockpile. They tell you to wait your turn while they seize opportunity. They tell you to trust the system while they bend it in their favor. Machiavelli understood this cruel paradox. The men who worship fairness are always destroyed by those who do not. That is the law of power. The moment you cling to fairness, you place your destiny in another man's hands. You begin to wait for something outside yourself to balance the scales. And waiting is death. Do not confuse restraint with morality. Do not confuse silence with virtue. Mercy only matters when it is deliberate, when you could destroy but choose to spare. That is power. But when mercy is your default, when fairness is your instinct, you are not merciful, you are weak. The truth is brutal. Fairness is not strength. Fairness is submission. The man who insists on fairness is already kneeling. He has accepted the leash. He has handed over his crown. So here is your choice. Remain in chains, waiting for justice that will never arrive, or break free and claim what others are too afraid to seize. Ruthlessness is not cruelty. It is clarity. It is the refusal to play by rules that were never meant to protect you. The next time you are told to be fair, remember this. Fairness is the slow poison that drains kings of their crowns. Reject it. Spit it out. Step over it. Because fairness is not the path to power. It is the path to slavery. Comment below. I refuse the chains of fairness. Power is not built on love. Power is built on fear. Love can fade. It can betray, it can turn to hate overnight. But fear is loyal. Fear roots itself in the soul and never lets go. The man they love today, they may abandon tomorrow. The man they fear, they never forget. Machiavelli made it clear. It is safer to be feared than loved. Why? Because love depends on the other person's emotions. Fear depends only on your willingness to act ruthlessly. Fairness will never inspire fear. Mercy will never inspire control. But ruthlessness, that carves itself into their memory. That bends their will without a word. Do you think rulers, kings, generals, or even CEOs rise because people liked them? Number. They rise because no one dared to cross them. Their presence commanded silence. Their actions spoke louder than any promises. And their ruthlessness sent a message that echoed across every rival. Cross me, and you will pay. Understand this. Fear does not mean cruelty for its own sake. It means clarity. It means when you draw a line, they know the cost of stepping over it. It means when you give an order, no one questions whether you'll follow through. That is control. That is authority. That is power. Fair men beg to be respected. Ruthless men command it. Fair men hope others will honor the rules. Ruthless men make their own rules and punish those who break them. And the world always bows to the second. Do not be fooled. Fear is not the enemy of loyalty. It is the root of it. People are loyal when they know the cost of betrayal outweighs the benefit. Fear locks that truth into their minds deeper than love ever could. So ask yourself, do you want to be liked or do you want to be obeyed? Do you want temporary affection or lasting dominance? Because the answer defines your destiny. Power without fear is fragile. Power without ruthlessness is an illusion. If you want to be untouchable, you must accept the darker law. The man who inspires fear controls the game, and the man who controls the game controls the world. Comment below. My ruthlessness will be remembered. Mercy is the quickest way to bleed out your authority. The moment you start handing out mercy like it's charity, you send one message: you can be bent. And once people know you can be bent, they will keep pressing until you break. History is clear. Empires collapse when leaders begin to confuse weakness with compassion. A ruler shows mercy too soon, and suddenly the army no longer fears punishment. The subjects no longer fear betrayal. The rivals no longer fear rebellion. What follows is chaos, and chaos always devours the merciful first. Machiavelli did not say, never show mercy. He said, never show mercy until it serves your power. Mercy is a tool, not a default. If it strengthens your control, then spare. If it weakens it, strike without hesitation. That is the cold calculation of power. The problem with most men is they are addicted to being liked. They want applause, validation, gratitude. But the pursuit of being liked is the death of authority. You cannot be respected as a leader and desperately crave approval at the same time. The two are enemies. True power lives in indifference. When you do not bend to the emotions of others, you terrify them. When you are unmoved by their pleas, they begin to realize you are not like them. You are colder, sharper, beyond their control. That distance is what gives you authority. Do not misunderstand. Indifference does not mean carelessness. It means you are untouchable by manipulation. Their tears, their outrage, their begging, it does not sway you. Your decisions are not guided by their feelings. Your decisions are guided only by what strengthens your throne. Mercy at the wrong time destroys fear. Indifference at the right time multiplies it. When people see you do not react, they grow uncertain. And uncertainty is power. They begin to walk carefully, choosing every word, every move, because they do not know how you will respond. That uncertainty is the leash wrapped around their necks. So remember this: you do not owe anyone mercy. You owe yourself power. Use mercy rarely, use indifference often, and when necessary, use ruthlessness without hesitation. That is the balance. That is the formula of kings. Comment below, my indifference is my power. Weak men spill everything. They talk too much, explain too much, reveal too much. Every word they speak becomes a rope for others to strangle them with. They think their openness makes them honest. It makes them predictable. And predictability is the death of power. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. The man who speaks less controls more. He reveals nothing, and in revealing nothing, he forces others to reveal themselves. The more they talk, the more they expose their fears, their desires, their motives. The man who listens holds the keys to their mind. Machiavelli understood this. Power is not always about action. It is about perception, and nothing creates greater perception of strength than controlled silence. Your silence makes them uneasy. It makes them fill the void with their own insecurities. They begin to question themselves, to doubt their moves, to wonder what you're hiding. That uncertainty becomes your advantage. But silence alone is not enough. To be truly untouchable, you must pair silence with unpredictability. Predictability is comfort. When people can anticipate your moves, they prepare against you. But when your actions cannot be forecast, when you strike from angles they never considered, you become untouchable. Think of great leaders, Conquerors, businessmen, they never showed their entire hand. They never let rivals know their next step. One moment they appeared merciful, the next they struck mercilessly. One moment silent, the next explosive. That unpredictability breeds fear deeper than any speech ever could. Your silence builds mystery, your unpredictability builds fear. Together, they create the aura of dominance. People respect what they cannot read, they fear what they cannot predict, and they obey what they cannot control. Never forget, when they know what you'll do next, they own you. But when you silence your tongue and mask your intentions, you own them. Because uncertainty is the most ruthless weapon of all. It forces the world to bend around you, so speak less. Reveal less, move like smoke, strike like thunder, keep them guessing, keep them uneasy, keep them fearful. That is how silence and unpredictability turn you into something more than a man. They turn you into a force. Comment below, my silence is my weapon, my unpredictability is my shield. Truth is fragile, perception is immortal. A man may fail in secret, but if the world believes he is untouchable, his power remains intact. Another man may succeed in reality, but if the world perceives him as weak, his success means nothing. This is why power is never about truth, it is about appearances. Machiavelli made this brutal law clear. People judge more by what they see than by what is real. They cannot read your mind, but they can see how you present yourself. They cannot know your struggles, but they can feel your aura. And that aura determines whether they follow you or betray you. The fair man wastes his time proving truth. The ruthless man bends perception. He knows people want to be deceived. They crave the image more than the substance. They do not want to know the messy details. They want a symbol to obey, a figure to fear, a leader to follow, and he gives it to them. Look at history's rulers. Some were bankrupt, bleeding empires dry behind the scenes, yet their people believed in their strength until the end. Others were brilliant, capable, yet appeared indecisive, and so they were abandoned, destroyed. Power is not in the facts, it is in the illusion you craft. Your rivals will try to expose you, to reveal your flaws. Let them. If your image is strong enough, their truth will be drowned by your presence. People do not remember facts. They remember impressions. They remember how you made them feel, intimidated, inspired, cautious, obedient. That is your weapon. Understand this. Control the stage and you control the audience. Control the perception and the truth becomes irrelevant. The ruthless man never wastes energy defending reality. He bends it. He uses symbols, gestures, and appearances to build an unshakable myth around himself. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to appear stronger, colder, and more untouchable than those around you. That perception alone will keep rivals in fear, allies in obedience, and enemies in silence. So ask yourself, are you wasting your time on truth, or are you crafting the image that will outlive truth itself? Because power doesn't care about what's real, it cares about what's believed. Comment below, perception is my power, truth bends to me. Every man will face betrayal, not once, not twice, many times, and the greater your power grows, the sharper the knives aimed at your back. Do not be naive, do not dream of loyalty as a permanent shield. Loyalty is fragile, conditional, and often just an illusion. Men swear allegiance today, but by tomorrow they are whispering with your enemies. Why? Because loyalty lasts only as long as it benefits them. Once that benefit shifts, so does their allegiance. Machiavelli understood this brutal truth. Betrayal is not the exception, it is the rule. Every ally is a potential traitor. Every friend is a possible enemy. Every oath of loyalty is nothing more than words waiting for the right price, the right threat, or the right temptation. The weak man weeps when betrayal arrives. The ruthless man expects it. He builds his strategy around it. He sharpens himself for the day it comes, and when it does, he is not shaken. He is ready. Preparation is power. Expect betrayal from every angle, and you will never be surprised. Build layers of defense, networks of information, tools of leverage. Know your allies' weaknesses better than they know their own. Keep records, keep evidence. Keep the power to destroy them if they turn. That is not paranoia, that is survival. The ruthless man does not fear betrayal because he has already prepared for it. He lets people believe they are clever, lets them whisper in the dark, lets them think their treachery is hidden. But when the moment comes, he strikes first, cutting them down before their betrayal becomes action. That is control. Do not make the mistake of thinking you can eliminate betrayal. You cannot. What you can eliminate is its ability to destroy you. The prepared man turns betrayal into fuel, into lessons, into leverage. He uses it to purge the weak, to tighten his circle, to sharpen his edge. So remember this: trust is useful, but preparation is essential. Expect loyalty, but prepare for betrayal. Trust words lightly, but verify everything. Give your allies reasons to stay loyal, but keep enough leverage to crush them if they turn. Because betrayal will come, and when it does, only the ruthless survive it. Comment below: I prepare for betrayal, I fear nothing. Never mistake alliances for friendship. That is the first error of weak men. Friendship is emotional. Alliances are strategic, and emotions have no place in the ruthless game of power. Allies do not care about you. They care about what you can give them. They stand beside you only as long as your shadow protects them, your resources enrich them, or your strength advances them. The day you lose that value, their loyalty vanishes. They will not fall with you. They will walk over your corpse to shake hands with your enemy. Machiavelli taught this cold reality. Alliances are temporary arrangements of convenience, nothing more. They are tools, they are weapons, and a wise ruler never forgets that a tool is discarded the moment it no longer serves a purpose. Do not look for trust in alliances. Look for leverage. Ask not, do they like me? Ask instead, what do they gain from me? What do they fear losing if they betray me? That question alone keeps alliances strong. Fear and benefit hold them closer than sentiment ever will. History is filled with men who mistook allies for brothers. They shared secrets, handed over power, relaxed their guard, and those allies became their executioners. Caesar trusted Brutus. Napoleon trusted his marshals. Countless kings trusted their nobles, and each of them paid in blood. The ruthless man never confuses alliances with loyalty. He knows allies are opportunists in disguise, shifting with the winds of power. He keeps them close, but never too close. He uses their strength, but never depends on it. He feeds their ambition just enough to keep them useful, but never enough to let them grow dangerous. This is the formula. Give them reason to need you, reason to fear you, and reason to stay tied to your survival. But never forget, they are not your friends. They are extensions of your power. And when the day comes that they outlive their use, you must cut them off without hesitation. Do not love your alliances. Do not trust them blindly. Control them, exploit them, and when necessary, sacrifice them. Because in the end, alliances are nothing but weapons, and weapons are meant to be used. Comment below: my alliances are tools, never chains. Power is not a throne you sit on forever. It is a fire you must constantly feed. The moment you stop feeding it, the flames die. And once the fire dies, vultures gather. Weak men believe that once they rise, they can relax. They imagine power as a finish line, something to win, then enjoy. But that is the lie that kills rulers, generals, kings, and even modern men in business and politics. The second you grow comfortable, you grow soft. And the second you grow soft, someone sharper, hungrier, and more ruthless takes your place. Machiavelli knew that dominance must be maintained through constant pressure. You cannot stand still in the game of power because the game never stands still. Rivals are always moving, enemies are always scheming. Even your allies are watching for weakness. If you are not pressing forward, you are already falling back. The ruthless understand this. They never rest. They never let their grip loosen. They do not give their enemies breathing room. Every move, every decision, every appearance is meant to reinforce their dominance. They apply pressure until opposition cracks, then press harder. Think of the great conquerors, Alexander, Genghis, Caesar. They didn't stop after victory. They built momentum. Each win fed into the next. Each conquest created fear that spread faster than their armies. They never let rivals regroup. They never allowed weakness to fester. That is why their names echo through history. Do not confuse pressure with chaos. It does not mean acting without strategy. It means never letting your power stagnate. It means always expanding, always reinforcing, always reminding the world that your dominance is alive, present, and untouchable. Understand this: power that rests, rots; influence that pauses, dies; respect that is not maintained, decays into contempt. You must sharpen yourself daily, train your will relentlessly, and strike before rivals grow bold enough to challenge you. Comfort is the enemy. Relaxation is decay. If you want to remain untouchable, you must keep the fire burning. Ruthlessness is not just how you rise, it is how you endure. Comment below: I feed the fire of power, I never rest. Everything I have told you leads to one truth. The world does not reward the fair, the kind, or the merciful. It rewards the ruthless. The men who rise are not those who wait for justice. They are those who seize it. The men who endure are not those who play by the rules. They are those who bend or break them. Power is not an accident. Power is not a gift. Power is a deliberate act of will. It is the cold refusal to be chained by illusions like fairness, friendship, or mercy. It is the relentless decision to dominate, to command, to survive no matter what must be sacrificed. That is the dark law, and only those willing to accept it will ever rule. The weak hope for balance. The weak pray for justice. The weak cling to fairness as if it will save them. But it never does. They are trampled by men who understood the darker truth. Life is war, and in war, only the ruthless claim victory. This does not mean chaos. It does not mean cruelty for its own sake. Ruthlessness is clarity. It is the ability to see through illusions, to recognize that everything, love, loyalty, alliances, fairness, is temporary, fragile, and expendable. And once you see that truth, you are free. Free to act without hesitation. Free to seize what others are too afraid to touch, free to rise while they waste their time playing fair. Machiavelli's darkest lesson is also his simplest. Men are not equal. Life is not fair, and only those who embrace this with cold indifference will ever dominate. Every law I have given you, about fear, betrayal, silence, appearances, and alliances, flows back to this single truth: survival belongs to the ruthless. So I ask you, will you remain chained to illusions, or will you break free and take what is yours? Will you live begging for fairness, or will you rule by power? The choice is yours, but the law is eternal. Stop playing fair. Be ruthless. Comment below right now: I choose ruthless power. And if you're ready to master these laws, if you're ready to rise beyond the ordinary, then make sure you like this video, subscribe to Laws of Power, and turn on notifications, because here we don't worship fairness, we forge rulers.